Let's go. This meeting to order. Understand, do we have anybody signed up for public comments? Did you sign up? Okay. Okay, why don't you go ahead and go first then, Roy? Please.
I guess, to stand up with the group. I just wanted to bring to the attention some safety issues again, north end. We had a guest to our island this past week. In fact, he was a friend of Gary's. I expected Gary to be here. But he was forced off the road on his bicycle, cut back in, and I don't think actually hit by the car, but was run off the road and rolled his bicycle and everything, and left our island on crutches. And nobody stopped for him. The person didn't stop or anything. But this is again just to reiterate the issue of the traffic and the parking and the traffic, the public access issues and the traffic, both walking and biking and cars and parking. That combination of factors creates a significant safety issue. And I thought it needed to be brought to the attention of the council, just again to bring that safety issue to the forefront. That's all I'm saying.
It's a shame that we don't have sidewalks. If we had sidewalks, I think a lot of this issue that you were referring to would pretty much be eliminated. Probably not totally, but I think drastically reduced.
I think there are several solutions, but I think one factor is our effort to create more parking and accommodate more parking at the sake of what we were supposed to do. Is that issue. I don't think anyone would want us to create more parking at the risk of public health and safety. And I think that's what we're doing. The parking issues and the traffic issues, especially on the north end or the car.
Do you know if he filed a police report? I mean, did he see the vehicle or anything?
Yes, he did.
No, he did not file a police report.
He reported it.
There was a email that came in over the weekend to the town's website for the citizen portal. There was no information regarding the vehicle that was involved. It actually happened on Pritchard Street. So according to the email we got this morning, so there wasn't a parking issue because there's no parking on Pritchard.
Correct.
But apparently he was forced into a driveway and the bike must have slipped off in the gravel driveway and he fell and hurt himself.
Right behind us?
He didn't say, he just said Pritchard Street.
There's nobody else with him. Yeah, there are a couple gravel
I
driveways.
responded to the email.
Friend that was hurt and Gary friend that was
Yeah,
driving.
I was aware of it. He
But we're not supposed to be talking about these things.
That's right.
I think that's time's kind of up on that anyway. So thanks for your comment, Robert. Appreciate it. This time we'll move on to, actually, I think were there some comments that were submitted?
So there was one that was submitted electronically from Henry Thomas, which we will make part of the meeting minutes.
Okay.
When we publish them, but
Okay. Like we did last month.
exactly like we did last time.
Okay. All righty. Let's move on to item 3, approval of minutes. The meeting minutes from the July 12th meeting are in your packets. Any changes or updates on those or motions?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting. By the way, Preston, thank you for getting those out so quick. Really great improvement.
Yeah, it makes a difference while it's fresh. Thank you. You have a motion?
Second.
Motion a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Item number 4, reports and updates. Ryan's going to give us update on the rating system and FEMA flood maps.
Yeah, so for CRS, which is a community rating system, that when I first started, it was probably the first thing I was tasked with. It was pretty large. It took 8 years to come to actual completion, where we'd actually see results from all the things that I've done over the last 8 years. Last month, FEMA finally we had our cycle visit, which is on like an audit, like a better term, but they come in and look at everything we're doing in terms of building and our rules and regulations and whether or not we're actually enforcing what we say we're getting points for. And we were rewarded with going from a class level 6 to a 5, which is a big deal because that is an extra 5% that all property owners will save on their insurance premiums through that FIP. So attached in your packet is the letter that we got from FEMA, but also the next page is a breakdown that shows the policies within the community, what the average policy is, and then at each stage level, how much each individual property owner will be saving on average. Some people have $20,000 premiums, some have $1,000 premiums. So that 5% is going to be a big difference, depending on how much you pay. So you'll see category 5, class level 5. When we were at class level 6, just being in the CRS, that program alone saved $316,000 for all policies across the island. So the town never sees that, we never see it, but the individual property owners with insurance policies, they saw their premiums reduced by that much. Now that we are a class level 5, that increases to $395,000. So that's an additional $80,000 that property owners will save.
That's awesome. Is that specifically on flood policies?
That's
Federal.
NFIP policies within the town's jurisdiction.
When does that
And
take
it's-
effect?
So it'll take effect in April, so everyone will see it on their next billing, which is usually that's when they start to send them out
Mhm.
in the summer. So that's an extra 5%. And all the policies are going up, so it's not like they're historically going lower over time, so this is all.
Agreed. Any questions about the CRS?
God, I've just seen the volume of paperwork that's involved in that from where Bill Otis first showed it to us.
Yeah, I mean, the difference now is like, I've pretty much done everything digitally, so actually it was the first year that we did everything digital. So I didn't have to print up anything. I can keep all my files, PDFs or electronically, so it was all done, and it was on Zoom. Usually they come out, FEMA comes out, and they sit down with you for a full day and go over all the stacks of paperwork. We did it via Zoom and supplied all that instead of getting it all knocked out in like a day or two. It really was like a multiple month process because there was no, we weren't going to meet in person. It's not like it's all Zoom.
Mhm.
So we just kept checking back in with each other, and it took a few months, and then finally they got everything needed. And
Where are they?
so each state has their own person that handles ours. Their office out of Columbia. She actually lives in like the North Myrtle Beach area, which handles all North Carolina, all South Carolina. So handles all the communities in both those states. And she had actually just retired. So we were the last one she did. And we were very,
Oh, nice.
eager to have her get it done before she retired. So
Get a
we
new,
got the letter like 2 days before her like final day, which is huge.
That's unbelievable. Thank you, sir.
And the other item is the maps, which is kind of the second part of,
Yeah.
so the state told us that they were expecting the new maps to go effect in June. And that didn't happen. FEMA told them there was some sort of, all they could say is due process issue. So they want to start the whole process over, which requires 6 months in the the Federal Register. So we're looking probably next summer.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. Because a lot of property owners are waiting for the new maps to come out in order to do some sort of addition or renovation, and the maps are what's holding them back. The new maps would have allowed them to do it. So this is going to set them all back. So it's not good news, but that's all I have.
So somebody protested the maps
No,
or the process of?
no, this is something got messed up with the process. So whether that was at the state level or whatnot,
Okay.
so we just have to wait.
next year. Always next year. right, let's move on to item 4B, which is the police report. Chief Fanning, what you got for us?
It was a fairly typical July. You know, we traffic enforcement, fireworks, minor possession of beer enforcement on 4th of July, tons of parking summonses. As you can see in the traffic survey, it's pretty much steady from last year. For the month, it was slightly down, the year slightly up, 1.6%, in either direction. Was fairly, busy, steady, nothing crazy though, so we'll take no crazy any day.
There was another car and bicyclist on 4th.
Yeah, that was on Springs Avenue. Car was going south, car was going north. People were walking, bicycle rider, kind of, her handlebar got clipped by the mirror on the car and knocked her off the bike into the sand. I think she broke her finger when she landed. We charged the driver with careless operation. He came to court, pled guilty, and worked out insurance information with the woman. So, it was unfortunate it happened, but he took full responsibility for misjudging the space in between.
Any other questions for Mike about the police report? Nope. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike.
I've never seen as many people on the beach as we had this July. The day of July 4th. I've never seen that many people on the beach.
And I think a lot of it's the amount of tents we have now too.
Yeah.
I think that adds to the perception. Amount of people on the beach too.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You
Mike.
think the tents are a problem?
No, not like they are up in the
Myrtle.
parts of the Grand Strand. And we don't have a problem getting around really with the four-wheeler, all this is really high tide. So,
All right, let's move on to item 4C, the building report. Looks like there are 3 items on the report. Anything out of?
Two of them are at the same house.
Okay. Any questions about the building report? All right, item 4D, financial report. We have some payments to approve. One of them to Belzer and Belzer for $3,508.84. Any discussion about that? Any updates or details we need to know about there? Need a mo-
What's the total now to them with this payment?
Plus the 45, this is, let's put it around 45.
Make a motion that we pay the invoice from Belzer and Belzer.
A second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the payment to Belzer and Belzer. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item 2, approve payment to David Durant and Associates for $10,294.24.
So David's office separated out the bills for the monthly, just routine stuff that we typically have them deal with. Another bill for everything he had in for the back end of the year, dealing with the easements, which is what Belzer and Belzer was dealing with. That was no cost, but it has been documented, so I appreciate that he did that. And then the third was this, which is everything he has in for the Henry Thomas case.
Okay.
So everything on this invoice is to deal with that specific case.
So are any of these, I think we've talked about this, but I don't remember your answer. Any of these invoices billable to our insurance?
Yes, so we had about 3,000 last year that we got reimbursed for, and this will all be reimbursable, hopefully, unless they have reason to question anything, but otherwise, this should 100% be reimbursed from insurance reserve fund.
So I'll make a motion to pay the David Durant invoice, $10,294.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the payment to David Durant and Associates. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, the third and final item under the financial report is approved payment to Coastal Science and Engineering for $13,566.21 for annual monitoring survey.
So a question here, Ryan. I think we did mention this last meeting. Have they given us any reaction or response in terms of how they think the beach is doing, in terms of just the look and feel of it and, you know, post nourishment?
Yeah, and they're up, so I've talked to pretty much everyone over there, and they're all really, really satisfied and very happy about the outcome. So this is for them to do their annual survey, which will tell us exactly to the stand how much we lost a year later, or a little bit over a year at this point. But that report, which they'll publish and give to us probably late this August, maybe early September, that'll give you kind of an in-depth take on, you know, how they feel about it.
Okay.
But if you want more of an informal opinion as to how they feel about it, I can certainly.
I don't mind. I mean, I think I'd just like to know how happy are they with the evolution of the beach? Not how much sand we've lost, but not technical, but just how does it look to you guys? You know, is this about what you expected based upon where we are?
Yeah.
Where do you possibly see an issue or any kind of
Correct.
problem or,
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah.
Sure.
How do you want that informal update? Do you want them to come give an update? Do you want a report from them?
I think we just get Ryan to get an answer. It'll be fine.
I'll get them to just put it out together.
That'd be
Great. That'd be great. Any other questions about the monitoring survey? It says annual monitoring survey year 3.
Yeah, so this is the third, so we signed 3-year deals with them.
Okay.
So for next year, they'll obviously get us an estimate, completely up to council if we want to go see an estimate from another contractor, engineer, just maybe to keep them honest. But we'll get to that probably towards the end of the year, so then we'll have to renew.
I was just curious about the year 3 part. Any other questions before we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to pay Coastal Science and Engineering to 13,566.21.
We will need a second before we can vote on it.
I second.
All right, we have a motion, a second to approve payment to CSE for $13,566.21. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, item 5A, appointment to boards, commissions, and committees. We do need to appoint a new member to the planning commission for the term expiring February 18th. This is an unexpired term from Ken Leach, he's now the chair of the ARB. There was an individual that we were pursuing, but that person has decided not to be on that commission, so we're still down a person. Unless you guys have someone, we probably need to come up with somebody. It's functioning, it works, it's got 6 members currently. We'd like to have an odd number in case there's a controversial issue. We haven't had that, so we're probably okay. But please, if you would continue to find someone to take that role, that would be helpful. Good deal?
Good deal.
All right. Move on to item 5B, discussion regarding prohibiting firearms in town hall on town-owned real property. And I think Ryan's going to give us a quick lowdown on kind of what precipitated discussion.
Yeah, so it was my attention that, on August 15th, the open carry law goes into effect in the state of South Carolina. Nothing would prohibit this time someone from walking into town hall, packing holsters, whatever, with an AR-15 strapped to their back, which is fine. That would be their right to do so. But most municipal buildings, most government buildings, do prohibit, firearms in the building. State law specifically states that government municipal buildings where Board of Administration is housed, that you can prohibit firearms from the building. So we don't have anything in place on the books that currently would prohibit anyone from doing so. So that is the reason that I recommended that you put it on the agenda, just for discussion. David's here, maybe explore and research the topic and come back with an ordinance, but that's entirely up to council whether or not that's something you're interested in doing.
Do we know what other communities, local communities are doing?
Yeah, so most communities already have it on the books, and it's a law, and that's to cover concealed weapons.
Right.
So that would pretty much cover, the way it's written in most municipalities, the way it's written already covers, the open carry law. We have nothing, so we would have to put something in place. We have nothing.
As far as I'm aware, every government building in Georgetown County prohibits concealed weapons already.
Yeah.
And just to correct Ryan's statement, the law, you can't have come in with an AR-15, but that would be outlawed completely. But the law now would prevent anybody from carrying a weapon with a barrel more than 6 inches, I believe it is, in public.
Still,
If we were to enact this type of a law where you could not bring in a weapon, would we have to put in some type of a
So it requires signage at all doors.
signage, but also some way to pat down or have somebody come through a metal detector or anything like
No,
that?
just the notification when you come in the entrance.
Got it.
That you're prohibited, that, would give
Yeah,
any of the officers the ability to say, are you carrying a firearm?
good.
That type of situation. As the law is written, if we see somebody walking down the street carrying open, if somebody calls 911 and says, hey, there's a guy walking down the street with a gun, we can just do a common right of inquiry, you can say, hey, you have a permit, he can tell us to go scratch.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do. If he says, no, I don't have a permit, well, then that gives us the right now to conduct further investigation.
Does anyone up here have a hesitation on pursuing this type of an ordinance of the town or for this building?
not at all.
I'm surprised we don't already have one.
And I have no problem acting on it tonight.
I don't think we have an ordinance written.
How,
Let me do some research first. I need
Yeah.
to see the new ordinance and see. Usually what they'll do is they'll prohibit, or they'll allow open carry, but there'll be exceptions and exemptions for public buildings and things like that.
Right.
right,
So I need to look at it. I haven't read it.
Okay, so if we don't act on it tonight, I would like to get some additional thoughts on, do we want to look at other leased properties for the town, like the park that accesses, the public access to the boat ramps, south parking? Do we want to, I'm just asking. I'm not advocating that we do, but it's something we should definitely consider since it is part of the town's property,
Yeah.
leased property.
My suggestion would be start with the building and then, go from there, because once you start getting to places like
Open-
boat ramps, I mean,
open to the public,
yeah,
type places.
yeah, that's a lot more challenging.
Okay, I just want to put it out there because those are leased properties, so the town has some responsibility for those. So it sounds like we'll move forward with some type of research and something that can be brought back to us at a future meeting, maybe in September.
Well, I'm gonna send it by email and Ralph and I'll get it to you today.
Okay,
When I get back tomorrow, I'll get it to research tomorrow. Get y'all sometime one that you can look at.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
You okay with that?
With a view toward an ordinance at the next meeting. Is that the idea?
Yes, I believe so. Yep. All right, very good.
anything on the financial report, Ryan, that we should,
Did I skip?
Oh, yeah, the two things that, so on the revenue side, we collected $109,000 more in local aid tax right now than we did this time last year, which is huge.
Same.
It was like 286,922. And now, last year it was $177,000 at this point. So 286,000, but our two biggest months still to go. July is by far our largest month, and August is also huge. And by all accounts, everyone says that the shoulder season this year is
booked.
booked out.
It is.
But 2020 was 177. Off the top of your head, can you say what 2019 was?
I could not, less than that though. Every year we've incrementally gotten higher and higher and higher, so. And last year we were a little bit behind,
Right.
because of March and just the hesitancy of April traveling and not wanting to leave. And then it made it up.
Mhm.
And we're gonna make it up just as much this year as we did last year, but we're booked solid, so.
It's been busy.
Yeah.
The island's been busy.
Combination of being busy, but also rents go up every year. So
Yeah.
that gets,
That's true.
your percentage goes up.
That is true.
So everything points towards our total revenue from combinations tax blowing away of that anticipated. That's
Take
good.
it. We will take it.
Yeah. And on the expenditure side, really the only thing that sticks out is what we spend on legal fees, which we'll have to amend the budget. We knew that is coming. We'll probably have that for you at the next month's council meeting. Otherwise, everything's pretty much in line.
Right. Any other questions on the financial report? Let's move on to item 6, which is comments by council members. Anybody got something to bring up?
Rocky, I wanted to ask you about the drainage.
We will have a major update at the next council meeting on that. We're moving well. We had a little bit of a change in plan for one of the drain areas that we ended up having to replace the pipe instead of just cleaning it.
Mhm.
So we've got it pretty well figured out, and I'll have some good info for you, I think, at the next meeting.
So they are in the process of cleaning them out?
Not yet. No, we haven't issued the
valves
are here.
Okay.
Have been delivered. Ryan has possession of those. And we're just working on the actual cleaning and installation. And now a replacement of one of the lines.
Where is that?
Myrtle Avenue. I mean, Pavilion Road.
The one right out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That shouldn't hinder traffic.
Not too bad. And Mike will work with us to figure it all out.
And it'll be a major improvement.
It will. We had a small king tide, I guess, about a week ago, Mike, and it flooded the roads again,
Mhm.
We had that one night where the wind kind of turned around us, otherwise it was available.
Yeah.
Ashley, anything?
No.
All right, y'all. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank y'all very much. Might be a record.
Do me a favor.